So we're down here back at the Y Theatre in the middle of Dave's Leicester Comedy Festival, and we're here with Nish Kumar, who's just got off stage.
Hello!
How was your gig, Nish?
It was lovely. It was really lovely. It was a gig called Asian Persuasion at the Y Theatre, and it's a really lovely audience. I had a really nice time.
Yeah, I actually have a bone to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
Because I think it was a week or two ago.
Yeah.
You were performing at the Crumbling Cookie.
That's yeah.
With Joey Page.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
And there was a particular group of people there who were sat a few rows behind me who. They were twats, basically. There's no better way to phrase it. And you wrote off that entire half side of the audience.
Yeah.
And I was on that half side, and I was sitting there being very polite, going.
I'm aware that you were. I'm aware that some of you were enjoying it. Unfortunately, there was a section of the room that were collateral damage in me really having a go at this group of drunk people who were misbehaving. And the problem was that every time I had a go at them, the other half of the room would laugh even more. So eventually, I had to push it so far that I was having. You know, it was
essentially talking to half the room.
Yeah, I was talking to half the room. But I was aware that I was leaving some people behind, and I want you to know, if it makes you feel better, I did feel bad for dismissing you as part of that group.
Well, you've agreed to do this, so it kind of makes up for it a little bit. Now, I know you've got to get off, so I'm going to bullet point interview. Sure. I think.
Let's bang it out.
You were at Firebug on the 8th of February. How was that?
Great fun. I love Leicester. I love it here. Yeah, it's a great... It's a great time to do your previous show from the last year's Edinburgh Festival and also do stuff for next year's show. So it's really February. It's a perfect time. The audiences are always really fun. There's some really great venues every year. I seem to discover another really good venue. The Crumbling Cookie's great. Firebug's great. I never done the Y before, so
It's your first time tonight?
Yeah, it's my first time doing the Y. I've always done. Bits and pieces of just the tonic and that kind of stuff, but the Y was great. So there's lots of great venues, and the audiences are terrific. Really good comedy crowds.
Next bullet point. You had a funny encounter with Sean Connery. Explain.
Oh, yeah. Years ago when I was flying for a sketch show, a university sketch show with a bunch of my friends, Sean Connery, there's a big street in Edinburgh called the Royal Mile where lots of people fly their shows, and so you basically spend the whole day. It's quite an undignified process. You spend the whole day just like handing out leaflets with your own face on it, and it can often be quite soul destroying. I remember handing a leaflet to one guy, and he went, "What is this?" And I said, "It's a comedy show." And he said, "Are you in it?" And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "Well, then I'm not coming," and just walked up. And I was like, "So
based on your face."
Yeah, I don't know what his problem was with me, but it can often be quite soul destroying experience, and you do it for the little rays of sunshine. And one morning we were flying, and this kind of group bustled past, and at the centre of this group is an incredibly tall man, and my friend went, "That's Sean Connery," and everyone looked around, and it was Connery just walking past, and my friend Tom just very quickly went, "Would you like to see some sketch comedy, Sir Connery?" I can't remember whether he called him Sir Sean or Sir Connery, and he just kept walking. We were like, "Oh, he didn't hear us," and he just suddenly turned back to us and went, "Sorry boys, I've got to catch a plane," which was brilliant.
That's a great
It was like
answer.
the best, most 007, short of sipping a martini and having full sex with a woman. There's no more 007 thing he could have done in that instant. It was brilliant.
Right. Next bullet point. You were featured on Radio 4's Fresh from the Fringe and Stuart Lee's alternative comedy experience. Do you consider yourself an alternative comic?
Sure, I guess. I didn't really think. I don't know. I think if it's one of those things where it's difficult to label yourself as any one thing. Like, I don't think you should have an awareness too much of those kind of labels. Like, you shouldn't set out you should just be trying to make people funny. And then if somebody else wants to call you that, then that's great. So
what have people generally said to you? I mean, do you tend to get sort of grouped into an alternative category, or?
I don't know. I played a lot of different things. I mean, the alternative comedy experience. I consider myself unbelievably lucky to be part of that group. If somebody is willing to put me in a group with Tony Law, Josie Long, and David O'Doherty, and all of these amazing, brilliant comedians, I am so much worse than all of them. I can only assume. I don't know. Must have just been one down or something. But if somebody wants to put me in that group of comedians, then I would be a fool to stop them. The people in the alternative comedy experience, Stuart Lee included, make up a substantial proportion of my absolute heroes. So it was a complete honour to be a part of that.
Yeah. Last but not least, what does the rest of 2014 hold for you, Nish?
I am going to Australia to do the Melbourne Comedy Festival. That's in a couple of months' time, and then I come straight back from that, and I'm just getting things ready for Edinburgh. So I'm going to do Edinburgh again and maybe looking at touring later on in the year. And there's some possibility of maybe doing some gigs in India. Actually, would be really exciting. Yeah. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of travelling, but the main bulk of the next sort of 6 months is about doing Melbourne and getting ready with a new show for Edinburgh 2014.
And then we'll see you back in Leicester next year then?
As long as someone will have me. Absolutely.
We'll have you. I'll invite you back. If I don't see you on the bill, I'll invite you back personally. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to let you get off to your gig.
Thanks a lot, man.
Have a good one.
Really appreciate it.
Cheers.